This is the other half of answering the questions for our constructed response. This is going to be questions 4, 5, and 6. This is the 4th video in reading. So this is reading, 4th week, 4th video. Let's finish this up. We're going to continue from where we left off. We're going to answer questions 4, 5, and 6. Again, just go ahead and follow me. We're getting our answers from the text, Jenna and the Black Cat. This is a passage we read a couple weeks ago. Again, if you're having difficulty with this, have somebody read it to you. Don't have somebody give you the answer. They can tell you what paragraph it's in, but don't just have someone write this up for you or tell you what to say. I want you to struggle a little bit with this. If you're making mistakes, that means you're trying to learn. And eventually, you will be successful. Don't shortcut it, please. All right, let's see where we left off. Jenna volunteered at. Okay. It's not going to be in paragraph 1. Is it in paragraph 2 or 3? Sometimes the questions and the answers to the questions aren't in a row. They don't follow one after the other. We might have to go back sometime and look at the text. Makes it a little bit harder. It's in paragraph 2. Can you find it in paragraph 2? What 2 places? Name 2 places Jenna volunteered to work at after school. Can you see that? You can see the word volunteered here, so we're getting close. Get your highlighter out. She volunteered as a tutor after school. And on Saturday, she worked at an animal shelter. There are 2 places. I think we found our answer. Now we have to put that in our statement. Jenna volunteered at school as a tutor and the animal shelter on Saturdays. Saturday is the name of a day, so don't forget to capitalize that S. We have 2 places, just exactly what the command was. Name 2 places. Jenna volunteered at school as a tutor and I forgot something here. And at, this is called a caret. We've seen a caret before. This one goes the other direction. This means I'm inserting that word. Jenna volunteered at school as a tutor and at the animal shelter on Saturdays. That was in our text. Paragraph 2. She volunteered as a tutor after school, and on Saturdays she worked as an animal shelter. This is a very concrete answer because the answer comes right after, it's in the same sentence with all the words we need, and it's very specific. 2 places. So if you answer something close to this, you're 100% correct. Let's look at number 5. The story setting, remember the setting is the place and time of the story. The story setting begins at, now this one is unusual because it does begin at Erica walking under the ladder and leaning up against that leaned up against the card store wall. That would be a correct answer. But also, where's the card store wall? And in paragraph 3, it says, Jenna and Erica began the walk from the mall back to Jenna's house. They began to walk from the mall. So they must have been at the mall to begin with, and that's where the card store wall is. A little bit difficult because they have the setting in two places. Usually the setting's in the beginning. Let's see if we can write that in here as an answer. The story setting begins at the card store wall. At the mall. Now, if you just got one of these, if you just said the story's setting begins at the card store, that would have been correct by itself. If you would have said the story's setting begins at the mall, that would have been correct as well. A perfect answer would be both of those places, because the card store and the mall are the same location. Again, we got that out of the text. We highlighted it where it was at. If the answer's in the text, we're 100% correct. Now let's look at this last one. It's a little bit more abstract. Why was Erica surprised to see Jenna reach for the black cat? This has to do with her personality, her character, how she behaves and acts. So how did she behave and act through the whole passage? And how is that different at the end? Why is Erica surprised? Her behavior changed. This is going to be a tough one. Let's think about Jenna for a minute. Jenna is what? What can you say about Jenna? Well, we can say that she's Erica's friend, okay, and that she's superstitious. So that's one answer that we can include in here. Erica was surprised to see Jenna reach for the cat because she's superstitious. And I'm going to look back to spell that word, S-T-I-T. Now I'm going to add O-U-S. They put superstition here. Here's superstitious right here. Okay, this is spelling for it. I'm going to use the spelling. I'm going to use as much of the text to write my answer as I can. Okay, so that would be one answer. That would be correct. Let's look further in the text. They walked past the ghost tree in paragraph 3. The ghost tree is just a maple tree whose limbs grew in a pattern that looked like arms reaching for the sky. When the leaves fell off, the ends of the branches looked like sharp fingers in all directions. It had been called the ghost tree as long as anybody could remember. On Halloween, the kids would put streamers in the tree, make it look especially spooky. Jenna usually stayed away from the tree. It gave her the creeps. That tells us a little bit more about Jenna. Erica was surprised to see Jenna reach for the cat because, here's another answer. So this would be one answer. The second answer would be the ghost tree creeps her out. Creeps her out. Now I put creeps her out in my own words. You could write something completely different. Because the ghost tree gave her the creeps. You could put that in there also. I just used to use this when I was a kid. I'm creeped out when I got scared. Now, let's see if there's another one. Okay, so they're at the base of the ghost tree, and Jenna held back. It's a kitten, Erica called to her friend. I can't reach it. Oh, it's a crying kitten. Who doesn't want to get a kitten out of a tree, even if it's a scary tree? Now, if you remember, it's a black cat. Erica was surprised to see Jenna reach for the black cat. Now, why do you think Erica would be surprised to see Jenna pick up a black cat? Do Do you know about black cats, about the superstition about black cats? They're bad luck, especially on Halloween. Erica was surprised to see Jenna reach for the cat because black cats, so this is going to be our answer number 3. Black cats are bad luck. So we actually found 3 different places in the text. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 7. And we're building the idea of understanding the character of who Jenna is. Any one of these questions, because the answer was in the text and it answers the question, is correct. This is a very abstract question. There's answers all over the text. You kind of have to put your thinking cap on. But any one of these, if one student said she's superstitious and another student said black cats are bad luck, both those would be correct. So it has more than one answer, so that makes it abstract as well. The concrete only had 2 places. If you got those 2 places right, you're fine. This one didn't really give us an answer. We had to investigate that answer. And that's what makes this abstract. So I hoped you followed along, and this was helpful. Test that we have for comprehension is going to have both concrete and abstract questions. There's always going to be 6 of them, and you have to get 5 out of 6 correct to pass. So they're really pretty difficult. It will always be from a passage that you've already read. So when you're reading those passages, those are very, 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 very important. It's very important to be able to read at grade level. So when you go to 5th grade, you're already reading at a 5th grade level, and you aren't going to struggle anymore for the rest of your school life, all the way through high school. That's why 4th grade is so important. So good luck with this. That's the end of this lesson for comprehension. And we'll come back later and fill in the rest of our triangle. You're going to find this part right in here super easy, because I'll give you a hint, you already did it. And then you're going to find this part in here super hard. So we took this part of the triangle, we made a statement out of the question and answered the question. That's all we're going to do for now.